All right, as promised, we are joined right now by the former unified welterweight champion of the world, 29-1, 22 by KO. He's making his return next Saturday versus Mario Barrios. Thurman v. Barrios, live on Fox Sports, PBC, pay-per-view, February 5th. We are joined by Keith Thurman. Keith, it is good to have you on. How are you?
I'm good. How you guys doing today?
Good, dude. Good. So this is your first fight in 30 months, which is obviously the longest time between fights in your career. What has that time been like the time off like for you, and how has camp gone?
The time off, it had its ups and downs. In the beginning, it wasn't that big of a deal, and then COVID struck, and we didn't know what was going to happen to sports, let alone the sport of boxing. And then slowly, entertainment started to pick back up without fans, and things started to happen. Meanwhile, my wife got pregnant. We have a beautiful baby girl now. She's about to be 9 months old. And, so during this long time, fatherhood is a new chapter that stumbled upon me. It's a beautiful life experience. And eventually we just had to get back into a camp. We said, look, man, enough's enough. I just need a good fight. I was offered a deal to fight in studios with no fans. It sounded boring, so I didn't take that fight. And then since then, I just didn't hear offers for a long time. After that, I called up my manager, said, we got to get back in the ring. I was trying to get back in the ring in December, but when I went to Vegas to commentate the Pacquiao fight, the last fight of his career, I ended up conducting COVID myself. So I was out for 3 weeks. My body felt strong again after 3 weeks. I called the manager back up and I said, okay, I'm ready for a camp. I'm ready for a fight date. He said, well, we can't get you in this year. We got to put you into early next year. So we landed on a date, February 5th. They gave me a few opponents, and Mario Barrios was the best man. Former ex-world champion, only one loss on his record. Everybody else had 4 losses, and they just seemed like I didn't want to give the critics too much to talk about. They're always going to criticize me being an elite welterweight. They're always going to have something to say, but I think this is a great fight. Like you said, after 30 months, he put on a tremendous performance against Tank Davis, a pay-per-view event. He's young, he's hungry, he's got a lot to show. He was willing to sign his contract, which means he wants to prove something. So I'm looking forward to the challenge February 5th.
My man, that might be the best response to how you doing that I've ever heard. Good job. Man, I love that so much. You laid out so many fascinating things in that. We're talking to the former world champ, Keith Thurman, who's going to jump back in. So your last fight was that loss to Manny Pacquiao. It was a split decision. The first loss of your career. It ended your 7-year run as a champion. I'm curious, how did you process that? When you are the man and the champ for that long, and then all of a sudden now, I don't want to say you're back in line because you're still a top-flight contender. What was it like to lose for the first time in 7 years? And then how did you process that?
It was very frustrating. After the fight, I had to have hand surgery. So I was depressed from the fight. I was depressed from having to go into hand surgery and not 100% sure. Of course, I found the finest doctor I could in California, and of course he said this is a simple procedure, but my hands are my living. So, of course, there was doubt in my mind. I'm simply a human being. There's doubt in my mind on if this is the right move or not, but I had to do it because I was tired of being in pain like I was in 2019. So, post-fight, I was the fighter who said, I'm not afraid to let it go. If you can beat me, beat me. But that doesn't mean that I was looking forward to defeat, And then outside of that, as a competitor, I think the stab wound goes a little bit deeper when you lose in a sporting event that you are capable of winning. It's one thing for a team to lose to another team and they never had a shot of winning, or one tennis player faces another tennis player and they know that they're outclassed. But when you have that ability to win and you fall short, there's nobody else to blame besides yourself. So I blamed myself for a very long time after the fight. And I did a lot of reflecting on what allowed Pacquiao to edge me out. What mistakes did I make in my training camp? What mistakes did I make in my off season, in my lifestyle, my lack of focus? What kind of mistakes did I make that would allow Pacquiao's a tremendous champion. I would never take anything away from him. But anybody who watched that fight knows how close Keith Thurman was to winning a fight when I suffered a knockdown in the first round. So I showed I had the skills to do the job. I just fell short, and it hurt for a long time. The one blessing that came with this 30-month layoff is it gave me enough time to forgive myself for my mistakes in the past. It's so long ago now, we got to let that stuff go. And we're manifesting this new me, this 33-year-old fighter who is in his prime, who's wiser than ever, who's learned from his mistakes, who's opening up a new chapter of fatherhood. And really, I just want to prove once again that I do have what it takes to be the number one welterweight. Like many great champions before me, a great champion can fall down, and we pick ourselves right back up. And that's my plan this year, starting right here, right now, next Saturday against Mario Barrios.
Keith Thurman is joining us. Another great response. You said something that somebody said to me recently, and just said it generally. You said, I had to forgive myself. Like, you're probably beating yourself up over and over and over again. But this person said to me, and tell me if you agree with this, you have to forgive yourself in order to fight, right? To fight to get back to who you want to be or what you want to be. That can't happen until you forgive yourself. Am I right?
You have to forgive yourself. And until you forgive yourself, how can you truly let go of the past, right? And if you don't let go of the past, how can you truly put your best foot forward and all your effort into the now? And what today is all we have. Yesterday is already forgotten. It's already a past moment. All you have is right here, right now. You have to better yourself. People are waiting for certain things to align in their life. Better yourself today. What can you do today? Can you wake up earlier today? Can you do something in your diet today? Can you tell your loved ones that you love them a little bit more today? What can you do today to make today a better day? Put more effort into today, because the effort you put in today will carry you and manifest a future reality for you. But it starts right here, right now. So I just had to let it all go so that I can be the fighter that I believe in myself to be, that I already know is manifesting in this moment through the 10, 11 weeks of training camp for this fight. My strength and conditioning is fabulous. My headspace is terrific. My focus is on point. My team has been very supportive, and that's because we stopped focusing on the past, and we did everything in our power today so that we can have a great performance next Saturday.
Keith Thurman joining us. Keith, I'm really interested in this. When you talk about the team, obviously you put a team together to help you with every aspect to get yourself ready for a fight. Your trainer, a nutritionist, whatever, maybe a masseuse, but we're talking about your headspace. I'm really fascinated by that. Did you add anybody to the team for that? Like, how did you work, or how did you improve your headspace as dramatically as you have?
Yes, I have a holistic team. It's a tremendous facility called Tampa Bay Holistic Wellness here in Tampa Bay, Florida. And Dr. Dawn Molina is the head traditional Chinese medicine doctor. She has a massage guy who's one of the best that I've ever worked with. His name's Andreas. And then, Dawn also does counseling with me. So we work in acupuncture, we work with traditional Chinese medicine, but then we work on the energy in the body. We work on the headspace, When she first met me, she said I was very yang. I was very, I had a lot of, it's not just positive, it's more of that masculine, it's more masculine energy. She said I was very yang dominant, like where it was almost too much, and it comes with the field. But she's been advising me to adapt a little bit more yin into my nature, a little bit more openness, receptiveness, feminine, on an energetic level. I don't have to paint my nails or do any of those things that are happening out here in the world today. But at the end of the day, every human being in the Taoist philosophy has the the masculine and the feminine energy rising within them at all times. And you want a balance, you want a balance of both energies so that you can be well-centered instead of being dominantly yin or dominantly yang. And working with her has definitely helped my headspace. I look forward to working in the future. She's seen this transformation in this training camp because we've been working in my off season, but I haven't been losing too much weight. And she's been wondering when I'm really going to show her the athlete that I can be. And now she sees it. And this Monday, she said, "I'm very proud of you. They're coming out to the fight, and I look forward to performing for them." And,
I was going to say,
back working with them.
Sorry, Keith. I was going to say, sorry to interrupt. I was going to say, wait till she sees the finished product. Wait, and maybe you're never actually a finished product, but wait till she sees that version step between the ropes. So let me ask you: if you handle your business, the way you expect to handle your business against Barrios, who are you looking at next? I mean, I get the whole thing. I can't look beyond this guy, but would you go straight for a belt at that point? How do you approach it going forward?
I mean, that's the ideal situation for Keith Thurman. I definitely want to go for the belt. I barely lost my belt, marginal split decision to Pacquiao. The champion, Ugas that's there today would not be in that situation if Keith Thurman hasn't lost. Everybody who's going after that title that I lost, I just feel like it was the mistake that I made that allowed for this to manifest in the world of boxing. So I want to redeem that mistake. I want to get in the ring with these champions and just have a great fight later on this summer. I think we can make a really big, terrific fight. It's not just because I am Keith Thurman, but I think Keith Thurman fights are great fights. I get tremendous feedback from all the fans, and I just love knowing that I'm one of the most exciting, let alone talented individuals in the welterweight division. I love the fact that I bring the excitement, I bring the charisma, I know how to promote a fight, and I know how to box. I know how to punch, I know how to box. That's that little bit of Muhammad Ali in me, the boxer puncher. We're going to see what comes out. I might have to meditate and awaken my little Mike Tyson without the ear biting, just get that Mike Tyson, get back on that yang energy just for a few nights for fight night. But at the end of the day, I just love the sport of boxing. I got so much more to give. When we get this ball rolling, February 5th, we got to keep the momentum going and just keep bringing the fans some great fights later this year.